So hey there guys, and welcome back to yet another Python tutorial. This video I'm going to be showing you, as promised, how to create a registration program using Python using a graphical interface that we will create using Tkinter. So the next tutorial is going to be the follow-up on this tutorial, which is going to be how to create a login using this Tkinter as well. So this tutorial and the next one is going to be related, and the following one as well. So first of all, like always, we want to do the import from Tkinter, import everything. After that, in this program, we're going to write everything within function. So we'll do def main screen, which is going to be our main screen where all the options will sit. So in that function, we're going to write a screen variable and we'll assign that to tk. Then we will do the screen.geometry. To set the screen size, we'll do this one as 300 x 250, and then we'll do screen.title driver records, or actually we'll title this one as notes. So what this program is going to do is basically store notes for you, and then you can view those notes whenever you feel like it. So it's like a basic, program that stores your notes. Not much special, nothing special to it, but you will learn a lot during this tutorial. So just put notes 1.1 for now because it's a version 1 of this program. And after that, what you want to do is get the first label up on the screen, which is going to be the header. Label text equals notes 1.0. Okay, then we want to do the background to be gray like always. The foreground's normal, so we want to change. We also want to change the font. So when you change the font, what you do is write in font equals brackets, and then I'm going to use Calibri for now, and then comma how large you want the font to be. We'll keep it on 13 for now, and then we'll do .pack as well. Then after that, what we want to do is create two buttons on the screen. One which is going to be for the login and one which is going to be for register. So we create the first button, and the button's going to have the text of login, and the second button's going to have the text of register. Once we've got the buttons ready, we can now go ahead and pack them on the screen since we want them to be in the center of the screen. We're not going to be wasting any time placing them and finding out locations. So what you want to do is create a blank label. You do that by typing in label, label, then open brackets, text equals just empty string, which will leave a line. So you copy that here as well, so there is a line left between. I will run this really quickly to show you what we've done so far. So before running this, make sure to call the function by doing main screen, and then we'll also write another line here saying main screen dot main loop. It's a good practice because when you run it from the command line, it will run properly, otherwise it won't. Okay, we have an error. Dot main loop function object has no. Okay, so not main screen, my mistake. So you just do screen.mainLoop, which is TK. If we run this again, there shouldn't be any more errors. And here we are. First of all, what we've done is we've done a header which we need to increase the width to and the height to. And we've done two buttons, login and register, which we need to increase the height and width to as well. So now to increase the height of the header, what we need to do is go right here. Just before fonts, we're going to do width equals the size of this window. So let's just do 300 for now, and then what we're going to do next is also define the height, which is going to be, I'll say 2. Okay, so now we want to move on and give the buttons a width and a height as well. So height would be, I reckon, 2, and the width would be 30. Okay, we're going to copy the same lines because it's going to be the same thing anyway. Don't want to waste any time. Paste that here. Remember the comma. Get the comma in and then run this module again. just to check if it works. Okay, there we are. Now it's looking a lot more clean and decent. And if you see, when we increase the size, it doesn't mess up anything because it's packed, not placed. So far so good. Now what we need to do is assign these buttons to different functions. How we're gonna do that is we go up here and we create a function for register, which this tutorial is gonna be about, and we'll create another function for login as well. I will show you how to do the login in another tutorial, which is going to be released very soon after this one. So for now, we're just going to say print login session started. Okay, that's all we're doing. And then we'll assign the login button to the command of login. And then we will move on and assign the button of, oh actually we did the wrong thing. This one is register, so we'll do register here, and we will change this one to login. Once you're done with that, what you want to do next is go up here and start writing the lines of code that you need. So first of all, what's going to happen is we're going to create another screen called screen 1, and we'll equal that to the top level of the first screen that we created, which is blank screen. For this to work, you need to globalize the screen variable, so do global screen, since we're trying to access it from another function, so that it can be available here. And then we'll do screen1.title register, then we'll do screen1.geometry, the same as the window before, 300 by 250, and we'll also start creating the entries. Now in here we're going to need the username and password, obviously, like always. So we're going to do username, create two text variables, so username equals string variable, and we're going to create another string variable for password, password equals string variable, and after that we're going to create the entries. So entry, before that, we're going to also need to enter labels for them. So I might as well just copy this one right here just to save some time. And then we'll paste it again here, and we'll say text username. And since it is required, we're going to put an asterisk right there. And then we're going to write here password, required asterisk, okay. And once we're done with that, we need to do the entries now. So entry text variable, that's the only thing we need in here. Text variable is going to be username for username, and password for password. Okay. So all we're doing here is we're creating two entries and assigning them to store the value into this text variable right here. Need to create another one and set the text variable to be password so that it can save. Now if we run this real quick, we're just going to be missing a, oops, don't know where that came from. I'm just going to be missing something wrong here, so notion text variable. That's weird. Oh, I've spelled it wrong, that's why. So if I put an A here, that should work. There we go. Register. And the mistake we made here is that we need to tell where the entry and the text variables are going. So we need to type in screen 1. Since now there are two screens, there is screen and screen 1. If you don't type in screen 1, everything is going to be placed on the first screen, which is not going to make sense at all. So anything that you insert on the screen, you're going to have to do screen 1 in the starts. If you run that again, we should have everything working fine. We're going to click on register, and as you see here, we have username and password showing up. Just before that, we're also going to do another label up here, two of those actually. So paste this here, paste this here. This one is going to be blank, just to leave some space. and we'll say please enter details below. Okay, now the only thing that's needed after this is pretty much the button that's gonna run this and save all the information entered. So what we're gonna do is create a button, place the button on screen 1, allow the text to be register, and after that what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the command later on, but we'll do the width to be, I will say 10, and the height to be 2, actually 1, and then we'll just pack it on the screen. We'll run this and see if everything's working so far. Should be working, and here we are. We only need to pack the entries onto the screen, which we haven't done yet. If we go and pack the entries on the screen as well, that should be working too. Okay, rerun this. Register, and as you see right here, we now have a working form. So we have a username and password field and a register button, which does pretty much nothing. So what the register button needs to do is we go up here and we create a new function called RegisterUser. Okay, so we're gonna assign the button to the function called RegisterUser. So command equals RegisterUser, and in here we're gonna get the username and password details. So username info equals username.get, and password info equals password.get. Once we have both the values, we're gonna take those values and we're gonna enter it into a text file. So how we're gonna carry that out is we're gonna say open. So we need to have a file name as well for this. So I think it's better that we do open username dot, so the file name is possibly going to be just the username of the user, so we'll just do open username info dot plus dot txt, and then we're going to open it into write mode. After that, what we want to do is give this the name of file by creating a variable, and then we will say file dot write username file dot write username info file dot write password info, and then file dot close. After that, we also want to take what we need to do here might also be that we need to globalize the username and globalize the password so that it can be gathered right here, and we're gonna also want to give these two a name, so we'll say username entry equals and password entry equals. So the reason we're doing that is we can now use those names to clear the fields up. So we're gonna do username entry dot delete 0, end, and we're gonna do password entry dot delete 0, end. The reason we're doing this is it's going to clear the fields once the user's registered successfully. Otherwise we would have all sorts of problems. So what we also want to do at this point is that we want to prompt the user that his registration has been successful. So we're just going to create a label. We're going to assign the text to saying registration successful. Okay, and now when we run this, we should have a successfully working registration program. Hopefully there's no errors in there. Users Johan register. Okay, username entry has not been defined. Okay, I knew that. So the problem is that we also need to globalize the username entry along with the password entry. So any variables that you're using outside the function need to be globalized pretty much. Otherwise we get all these stupid errors. I'm gonna open this up again. Register. Do this. Okay, register. Untype person over to delete. So not very sure why it does that, because in the previous tutorial it worked. Password, username entry, password entry. We might have to actually pack this separately if that works in some way. Entry.pack. Try to clear this up as well and do password. Oops, that was not the right move. .pack. I'm just going to take this off. I'm going to do password entry.pack. If you rerun this, hopefully everything should be working fine. Well, we have no error. I'm just going to check our file directory that we've saved the files in. If we have a file, that means it worked successfully. If we don't, then we all know that it didn't work successfully. So I've saved it in graphics, sa.txt. Okay, it's pretty much worked. So what we also want to do, I'm just going to delete all these text files for now because there's too many of those. Go in here, and the problem why it didn't say registration success is we need to put it on screen 1. Text should be that, and then after that what we're going to do is change the foreground to green, font to Calibri, and the size to around 11, let's say, and then we're going to pack it on the screen. Also, what we need to do is when we're writing this info, we might as well do a plus and a this /n. What this does is it leaves a line between the username and password so that it's not stored on the same line and it's easier to read. Once we are okay, there's missing a comma right there. Once we're done with that, for God's sake. Okay, comma. We'll refresh that and register hello world password. Register. Screen 1 has not been defined. Okay, perfect. Getting all errors today. It's all gotta happen today. The problem is we haven't globalized the screen 1 either, so that's why we're getting that error. Okay, let's refresh this again. I mean rerun this again and register user password register. And as we have here, we have a successful prompt saying registration success. The forms clear up by themselves. And if we close this now, we should have 2 text files, one blank, one with the name. So the reason we have one blank is because we left the fields blank, so it creates a blank one, and the other one is based on the username we entered, which was user, and inside is going to be user and password. So as you see right here, we were able to create the register where the user's account is stored as the file name, and the username and password is also saved inside the file name. In the next tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to use the same information to allow the user to log in into his or her account and save notes into his or her account. Those notes can be added on and also deleted. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys. I hope I didn't repeat myself too much, and sorry about the errors. Help me reach my target subscribers of 1,000, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.